Model Railroads and Structures Show is brought to you by Helicon Focus. Helicon Focus makes photo stacking easy, while making post-editing just plain simple. Get your 20% off a lifetime membership by going to modelersguild.com/HF. And we thank Helicon Focus for their support of the Model Railroads and Structures Show. And by Long Shadows Model Trees, where all the trees are handmade one at a time to make your layout look real. Don't want 100 trees that look all alike? Contact Bob, and he'll make the kind of trees you are looking for. To get your own long shadow model trees, just go to modellersguild.com/LSMT. And we thank Bob for his support of the MR&S Show. In today's show, a model railroad scenery artist from Germany. Using SketchUp, we take a photograph and make it into a model, and all the regular train wreck kind of stuff that happens on this show. You're watching the Model Railroads and Structures Show. Please enjoy.
Hello, Ron. Do you hear me?
How are you today?
Well, fine.
So, how do I pronounce your name? How do you say it?
The long version or the short one? Normally, people call me Uli. It's my nickname.
Uli.
Uli.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah. My full name is Ulrike, which is pretty hard to pronounce for English people, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I was saying I can't even say it now.
Uli.
Yeah, I was saying it correctly, but I was guessing, so I didn't know. So, since we're on the show's about model railroading and stuff, and you are a scenery aficionado, what do you do in your business?
What I'm doing in my business, well, I'm covering nearly the whole frame, I would say, from the very beginning till the end, namely building sceneries. This is my main topic, building sceneries and trees, model trees, or backdrops. I paint them myself.
Oh, good.
So that they fit exactly to each special layout, very individually.
Yeah, backdrops aren't easy, so
no. But my whole hobby always was, well, since I was a child, was painting, and this is what I can use now, actually.
So you're an artist.
It's my advantage.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Artists are the best. Freedom. So how was it that you got into the hobby then? Like it's not traditional to find.
Well, no, not really. When I was a child, my father bought me a simple layout, some tracks and some locos and wagons, and I just played with them.
Yeah. And
well, when I grew older, they were buried in the attic of our house.
Yeah.
For about 30 years, you can say. And when my little son became 5 years old, my father got my old railway
toys out of the attic.
Yeah. He got it out, and my son played with it. And then this was the moment when I thought, I never built a real layout before, and so I started.
Oh, wow.
And I became addicted, and I became addicted again.
Yes. So your son helped you to get into the hobby, basically.
If you say so, yeah.
That's how. Well, that's how
you could take this as a reason, yeah.
Yeah, I got into the hobby like after my kids started showing signs of liking it, and I just jumped in with both feet. You know, like I was always an artistic kind of guy, and building structures really grabbed me. You know, so it was my children who started that off, though, with the whole Thomas and let's go to the model train club and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but well, we did it on ourselves, and well, after I moved to my new flat here, I decided to switch to N scale.
Yeah.
And to build a bigger layout proportionally, seen proportionally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Measures. And yeah, so
so we should tell people you're from Germany, and
yes.
So what's the availability of N scale in Europe?
We've got a pretty wide range of offers.
There's no difference, really?
There are several brands offering N scale equipment and stuff, so it's not really very tight. So you can have everything you would like.
Wonderful. Cool.
It's very easy.
So you do backdrops, you build trees. Do you have pictures of this stuff?
Yes, what I prepared was how I build my rocks, but I can have a look for it.
Oh yeah, you were recently sharing those, weren't you? Is this the same project that you were recently sharing?
I just made a video.
The one that I called the bonsai?
Yeah. For example, it's the same method. It's the same method, but I'm building a new diorama right now for documentation.
Oh,
yeah,
very cool.
Okay. I will see if I have some photos of my backdrop, for example.
Wonderful. Yes, backdrops. My first 2 backdrops that I did worked only because I found a really simple technique, but it surprised me. Like I was so afraid to do backdrops, and I won't say it's easy. I just say that it's very easy to get out of control with it, and less is more, I've found.
Just hold on a second. I'm looking at
doing 2 things at once. Yeah.
I have to open it in another window, you said, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
You press right click and preview, and then through Hangouts you can press that green share screen button and find the window.
Well, I've got sort of an overview here where you can see it pretty well. Do you see it?
Yes. Oh, wow.
Okay. So the backdrop is sort of a prolongation of the built scenery in the foreground.
Yeah, it's really well blended.
Using the perspective view.
Yeah. Yeah, you can you can tell what's painted, but it's not so noticeable as you'd think. Wow.
This is what I'm aiming for, that you can hardly note where the 2D effect will begin.
Yeah, and the perspective is really good.
This is what I'm offering, well, especially for the surroundings of Berlin where I live. Because I have to visit people then.
Yeah.
To get it really good. Otherwise, I can't manage it.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So you're near Berlin.
Yeah, Teltow is a little town at the southern border of Berlin.
Okay.
Exact.
So how have you visited that massive miniature land? Have you the miniature land, the very large automated layout?
You mean Hamburg?
Yeah. Is that
Hamburg? It's not very far from us. Well, about 320 or 50 kilometers.
Okay, a couple hours.
I've never been there. I just know it from the internet, from photos from the internet. I've never been there.
Oh,
what
wow.
a shame, yes.
sure your son was
But I've never had time before, actually. So.
Oh wow, that's beautiful. That I don't think I all I did on my backdrops was just clouds.
That's what people normally do. That's what people normally do because they're sort of helpless.
Yeah.
But there's so much more possibilities.
Yeah. Well, mine also are a standard backdrop for multiple modules, so I don't want to put trees on one that has the ocean front, you know. It's supposed to go
okay.
a couple of trees.
A bit silly.
So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. So that's an example of the black backdrops. It's beautiful.
Okay, that's it.
Oh, wow. Like a big oak tree.
This is meant to be an oak tree, right?
Oh, really?
This is meant to be an oak tree. Yeah. So I will have a look if I've got some more, because I built several already.
Now, your clientele, are they basically European, German, or
German? You can say, well, German, yeah.
Okay.
Mainly, yeah.
And
I hope it would develop in an international direction, but at the moment,
sure,
it's only German.
Okay. And how do you do your marketing or exposure? By word of mouth?
Pardon me?
How do you do your marketing? How do you get exposed to the market?
Well, my main channel is Facebook.
Okay.
And I'm in several boards also where I do get my customers from. They mainly know me of building my layout, where I document how I build my layout, because I started as a hobbyist, so I'm keeping that on.
Yeah. It's
although I made it up to be my profession also, but I mainly do it just for fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's, the layout keeps you inspired while giving you the opportunity to experiment and grow, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
And I want to improve my skills, so I'm trying to adopt new methods also, and try to find new solutions. And the mixture of it, it's the result of what I'm building now, for example.
Yeah.
Or the way I build now.
So how big is the layout?
My private one?
Yeah.
It's just in meters. It's 4 meters of length. 4 meters of length. And they're
16 feet. About 16 feet, I think.
Well, don't know how much it is actually.
I could ask you.
I just know the metric system, so it's 4 meters. And it's 150 at each side of width.
I love this. You just type in Google and it'll tell you. So that's 13 feet. I was 3 feet off.
Okay.
Wow, that's I find that these it's kind of small and quaint. Then not real small, but
Well, in fact, it is very small, but it seems huge or bigger because of the backdrop, for example.
Yeah. I've got only room for about 8 feet, which would be about 2 meters, or no, 2.5 meters, and that's good enough for me. I constantly put detail on it, and
Yeah.
Put it down for a while, come back with a new idea, and yeah.
I've got an overview here from one side to the other.
So is this the Alps?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And when I started, well, I was living in Bavaria for about 10 years.
Okay.
In the middle of the Alps, you can say. And
Oh.
I was so attracted by them, and I wanted to build this. And I was looking for a layout fitting my inner idea, which I got from my inner eye. And then I discovered the Albula Circus. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
The what?
Albula Circus.
No.
It's the route of the RHB,
Oh, okay.
RHB, Rätische Bar, in Switzerland. And it is also, we call it the UNESCO Welterbe. I don't know what it is called. It's a heritage. It's an international heritage.
Mm-hmm.
Very popular, very famous for its very special method, how they build the routes and the tracks, and how they solved to get rid of the height they had to mount.
So like the helix or the elevator.
Yeah, that's the very special thing about this. So, and it's such a beauty, and I want to have it on my layout. And this was one picture I showed you first with the backdrop.
Yeah.
There you could see the 3 helixes.
Okay. I love the color on it. I love the color. You've got a nice connection with the color. It's real look.
Yeah.
I really like that. You know, you really notice the layout when somebody gets the palette, maybe not totally correct, but correct looking. You know, you see a lot of layouts that have a weird looking colored green, or a stark. Colors are too off, and you've got a nice balance of color there. I really like it.
Yeah, I try to take the colors of nature, which is earthy colors. No, earthy.
Yeah.
How do you say? I don't know.
Exactly.
Earth colors.
Earth
colors.
Earthy's what we say.
Warm brown colors or shades.
Mm-hmm. Tan based.
And that's others do not have a feeling for it, and this is what I also have, coming from the painting in my very youth, that I got a feeling for the colors. And many people just take the stuff which is offered by the big suppliers.
Yeah.
And, sometimes they're really weird colors.
Yeah.
Not fitting at all.
Yeah.
So the whole layers get spoiled.
Yeah, sometimes I have to hit it with spray paint just to give it a dull tone or an earth tone on top of the unrealistic color. Yeah. Just get rid of those colors. We'll put those on the bottom, but we'll still paint them.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. So that's cool. So you do business. You want to go international with your scenery. That's good. So recently on the Facebook group, you were sharing a series of photos, and I mistakenly called it a bonsai.
Yes. Well, I still have it here. Yeah, it is a bonsai. Yeah,
it is.
Happy. Yeah, it is. I copied a Penjing.
Okay.
Which got a prize. It was. It's got a first place medal. So I just copied it, and
just to see if you could do it.
No, it was for a customer. It was built for a customer.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, and I tried to give it a little bit, varying it a little bit to the original.
Mm-hmm. Make it better,
so that it might fit better to the customer's purposes, but and that it might have my style.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shall I get it? I can get it. I've got it in the other room.
Oh, really? Go for it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Show and
Hold on.
tell.
What up, y'all? You looking for some landscaping for your layout? Well, you better do like old Early and get you some of these fine long shadows trees from longshadowstrees.com. You tell them old Early sent you. Here.
Okay. It's not that huge. It's 40 centimeters of radius from side to side.
I gotta ask Google again.
I don't hear it at the moment.
You don't hear me?
So I'm back to you.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
And, well, these are 5 bonsais, yeah. You got it right.
My goodness.
I don't know. Shall I get near? I don't know.
Yeah, I can see it. That's a beauty.
Yeah.
So in making your shape of the waves, how did you do that?
My waves. Well, the underground, the basic, I use filler compound,
Okay.
drywall compound,
Yeah.
and I give it a structure already. Then I paint it with acrylic colors in different shades of blue. Just hold on.
So the shape of the waves is made out of the plaster. Just plain plaster.
Not really. Well, sort of, yeah.
Huh.
But then I stress it. Then I stress it with cotton, synthetic cotton. Oh,
wow.
So the first layer I put on is with Fala, natural water.
Okay.
For example, or I use also window colors as an alternative.
Yeah.
As a key one, because it's the same stuff what you can buy for great money from the main suppliers.
Brand, no name.
Yes. And then I put at these parts, you can see it there, I put cotton in it.
Yeah.
But when it has dried, you won't see it. So I stress it with white acrylic paint.
Okay, to highlight it.
I stress it, and on all this as a second layer, again a bit of Fala natural water.
Yeah.
So it got a shiny glimpse or whatever.
Which is basically a gloss clear coat of something.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. And my waterfall, I'm building the same way. It's with cotton.
Yeah.
Do you see it?
Yes. Beauty. Now,
and I'll fix it with hairspray.
I'll fix it. Hairspray alone.
What? Yes. I use window colors.
Yeah.
Crystal clear for the base.
Yeah.
And I put or I work in the synthetic cotton.
Uh-huh.
And on top to get it fixed, and it's real. Yeah. You can see it.
Also,
as finished, I use hairspray, strong hairspray.
Yeah.
Which women normally use for their hair. I will never put it into my hair again. After having this experience, you see, it's stiff.
Yeah.
That's so you can clear it easily. Well, it's fixed.
That's remarkable. There's a couple of gentlemen here who are really good at waves and waterfalls, and they've been using,
I saw this, yeah,
silicone with cotton batten. Well, it's the synthetic cotton, and but they're using silicone, and you're using gallery glass, which is kind of like a thin, clear drying glue. Right?
Yeah.
It's like
it's white. It's white. It's like a stuff you get from the big suppliers.
Yeah, but the big suppliers, it's thicker. It's a lot thicker. That gallery glass, you can thin it out so you can almost see through the glass.
It gets clear. Yeah, it gets clear when it's drying.
Yeah, it's not. But
there are two types. one is thinner and the other one is thicker.
Yeah.
You can get two types.
Oh.
So, yeah.
We get that stuff here too. It's in. I've seen it in Walmart and Michaels and stuff like that. It's called Gallery. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, it's a good method. It's a good method. I think silicone is
Messy.
it might be a bit too thick. It's messy. Yeah, that's it.
It's all over your fingers. I tried it a couple of times. Lex and the other guy have done a great job, and I tried to do it, and it just looks like spiders.
Does it really get clear, crystal clear?
Yeah, it just.
Oh, is it?
Pardon me? It just fortifies.
I would like to know if silicone is really getting clear, really clear, or is there's always.
You're right.
Afraid of.
You're right. It's a little opaque.
Yeah. Okay. Mm.
Yeah, there's a little bit of fogginess to it.
Yeah.
For sure. Yes. The stuff that I use mostly is my weld bond glue, and it does.
Yeah, I saw this in one video of yours. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like Elmer's glue, but it's kind of got like a what is it? A floor wax kind of base. It's not a normal wood glue. You know, you can't eat this stuff. It's get it in your mouth. It tastes terrible.
I would never try it anyway.
You know, Elmer's glue.
But I don't think that we have this product here in Europe. I don't know. I've never heard of it.
Okay. So
we've got Mod Podge as well, which many people are working with Mod Podge. We haven't got it.
You don't have it. Oh my goodness.
No.
So what are some European products that are available that you use other than gallery glass?
Well, we get the woodland stuff.
Woodland,
for example.
Sure.
We have Faller,
yes.
natural water, and the whole. We have from the company Noch. It's called Noch.
Yeah.
NOCH.
Yeah.
They're offering products.
Well, I've been calling it Notch all my life.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's not.
That's the German for you, Notch. Yeah. That's why I get the heads.
Yeah, well, there are several products, but I'm always trying to look for cheap alternatives.
Yeah.
Which everybody has in its household.
Yes. This is a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So my last question for you is kind of like a theme for the show that we're trying to create. Do you so you got your son likes trains and stuff like that. You've got this layout. He probably loves to be around it.
Yeah, he plays with it, yeah.
Yeah. So do you get him involved in model making of some kind?
Yes. As far as he can help me, I try to involve him. And he helped me with my one mountain there where the castle is located on it.
Okay.
The one in the front, the little one.
Yeah.
And he's painting it and doing the underground work.
Right on. Yeah, I try to get my daughter involved. My son, he's just right into the computer, and you can't get him into the back room to do all that stuff. My daughter, she's right.
He might be too old for it already.
Yeah, he'll get into it one day. I'm sure of it. But
yeah, now he's very good doing the track work as well. I don't know how it's called.
Same track work. Yeah, ballasting and track work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've been trying to put together a video with my daughter on track work, having her do all the techniques while I talk about what she's doing to show how easy it is.
Mm-hmm.
Working with kids as the talent is not so easy. It's not
no. But when they are sort of infected, they will feel dedicated later on as well.
Yes. With that modeler's patience, I'll get her addicted today.
Yeah. And it's a very interesting hobby, I think, and with a lot of different skills needed, and
applications in life.
that's it.
Yeah. Like, you remember in high school how everybody in math class said, all I need is a calculator and I can do this. What do I need this in real life? But
Yeah.
if model railroading was a subject in high school.
Yeah, you have to use math, for example, building the helices.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
And, well, my son, he's very good in maths in school, and he was very surprised that you can use it in real life.
Yes. And that's the beauty of model railroading, brings that application, into
That's it.
Yes. So I'm going to cut it short because I got a headache. It's killing me.
Yeah, okay.
But it was really nice to talk to you. I invite you to come on the show on Sundays. It's just, this is all about model railroading and model railroading all around the world,
Well, in fact, it could be a great community.
Yeah, and, whether it's in Indonesia, Japan, California, or New York City, or Germany, it's so interesting. And California and New York has so much of a focus on it. I think going across the pond to Europe is super interesting.
I love watching or looking at layouts and sceneries from other countries, because all the experiences and traditions of this country are worked in. So it is interesting to me to see what they make out of it.
Like a history lesson in pictures.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
But with Europeans, it might be the language. Many Germans speak English, but
yeah. Well, it's about the big cultural exchange,
Yeah.
This is me, this is you, and I agree totally. And so Sunday, if we can get it together, if I can get it together.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
Try to get it together, but
it's developing. Yeah, I might be. Well, Sven and I, we are German, so it won't be bad if we talk in German either, to bring it to the Germans.
That would be neat.
Because many Germans, we do speak English because we learn in school also, but
it
might be ashamed or whatever, or are not fluent, and
that would be such a good thing. If I could be a part of encouraging that would be so cool. It'd be so cool.
Well, I could ask Sven. We could discuss it.
Yeah. I'm sure that would be
see what we can get out of it.
Model railroading is a worldwide affair. And, I'm sure there's a ton of people who would really appreciate a German-speaking show.
For example, yes.
There can't be many of them. Well, thank you for talking to me today. And
it was my pleasure. It was my pleasure.
Awesome. Fist pump.
Up there. I always visit.
Yeah. Talk to you later.
Yeah, bye.
I have often said model railroading should be a course in school. And if I had my way, model railroad photography would be one of those skills taught in that class. Thankfully, my friend Bob Boudreau has covered all this stuff for you on his website. Bob's website covers all aspects of photography, from point-and-shoot cameras to DSLRs. Bob's photography has been part of many contests in the model railroad press, and Bob's contest-winning tricks can be found on this website, so check it out. As you guys know, one of my big interests is marine modeling, and this boat is by Frenchman River Model Works, and, well, not this boat, this is a prototype photo I found out in the wild This is a army boat, and it has a bunch of colors that I kind of like, specifically the buff color that's on the chimney, and the stripe of rusty red along the hull. I think those are great pieces, and I'm going to recreate this kit for one of my modules, or maybe just sell it on eBay. First step to making any resin-based model is a little bit of soap. I like to make some warm water. Temperature of the water probably doesn't matter. The warmth is probably just my preference, but we want to clean these parts off to remove the mold release that is sprayed onto the mold before the resin is applied to it. This makes it so the mold will last longer, so the mold won't stick to the resin in any spots, and it just makes for a better process altogether. So all we're going to do is wash off this mold release. Using my fingers isn't really quite going to cut it, so I use a brush at times, and just get this thing clean, because it's not going to accept paint unless we get this stuff off. Turn the parts upside down so the water doesn't pool on the spots we want to paint, and let it dry. After these parts are good and dry, we need to paint them. We got to start with a base coat, which is going to be, in my case, black. I want to paint the inside of the pilot house and the hull flat black, and I'm going to use a spray paint can. I've heard arguments and complaints and downright trollish comments about using spray paint on models, and I tend to think that usually applies to brass engines. Anything else, this paint dries to a real thin film, and as you can tell, I'm painting in short spurts, kind of thing, and by doing that, you control the amount of paint that hits the model. So, as you can see, I'm painting the inside of the pilot house, and I just want to get a general first coat on the model to be able to go inside and let it cure for a couple of days before I start hitting it with some more paint. I like to listen to model rail radio while I'm modeling. It's the kind of thing where I don't have to watch the screen to see what everybody is demonstrating. I just have to sit there and listen to the thing, and I think that possibly that's the point of Tom's format with Skype and the lack of video. So I listen to it while I'm modeling, and I listen to some shows over and over and over again. And this one that I'm listening to today is the one where Trolls Kirk is on the call, and a number of other celebrities and well-known people and people that I like and appreciate. So I've let the hull dry for a couple of days. The pilot house has dried. It looks like I painted the pilot house white off of camera. I used a white primer from a rattle can and sprayed it down from the top. This allows shadows to be created in the portholes and the windows, and you want your shadow to be on the top of the window, so it naturally creates a shadow at that point in the model. It'll translate well into photographs if you do this, as a regular thing in your modeling. I'm painting the inside of the portals gray because I'm going to paint the wall around the outside a rusty colored red. And I don't want I don't want the red color to be inside the porthole, so that when I put my glue style windows in there, that the glue style windows will have a red hue. I want those windows to have a gray or a shadowed hue, so I'm just controlling the filter that is applied to the glue once we put it in there at a later part of the build. Get my meaning? I don't know. Next, I'm going to paint the roof sections a dark gray, the same color gray that was going inside the portholes. This is so that these are places where you'd be walking around on the tugboat, and I figured that there would be some sort of a traction paint or some kind of texture to make it not so slippery to walk on while out at sea, because these surfaces are going to be totally wet with ocean spray and all that jazz. So I'm just painting I can't figure the word right now, and I'm not going to Google it to make myself look smart. I don't care anymore. So we're painting that part gray, and I'm going to cut ahead here because so we can cut this video down a little bit more efficiently. Please take note that when I add paint to a brush, I take most of the paint off of that brush before I start applying it to the model. The worst thing you can do in painting is glob a great big hunk of paint onto something that you really don't want a lot of paint on. You really want to have a paint that's spread out nice and thin, and if there are brush strokes that you have to cover up and fix, do that in a later coat. Use your patience. Let this coat dry, and then come back and cover those brush strokes with another coat. It's going to translate into a much finer looking paint job than if you just plunged on just a great big hunk of paint and tried to swish it around with a big mop kind of thing. Take it easy, Bice. At the beginning of the video, I said I picked the prototype photo because of the buff color on the chimney. And it's true. I don't want to have a gray boat that is like a battleship where, it doesn't have any character in my eyes. It's not that I'm against the design of the military in the United States. It's just that I'm looking for a variation of color and an interest in my models, and the range of colors on the particular prototype that I've picked really jives with me, and this slightly off color chimney is part of that. Oh, yeah. If you're still watching and you notice the huge wound on my hand, yeah. Kitchen fires are not the easiest thing to put out without getting burnt. Ouch. It took a while to heal, but it's pretty much healed up now. Anyways, I am using I've got a wide variety of rust-colored paints, and You know, whereas you usually see a red color, I see a faded red color. So what I'm doing here is I've taken a terracotta a rust color that's on the terracotta range, meaning it's more orangey than red. And then I'm using this crimson red that is one of my favorite deep tone reds to use ever. So crimson red mixed with a terracotta orange, and that just gives it a little touch of it just gives it the proper color I'm looking for with the paints that are on my palette right now. Sometimes you have to mix colors, and it's appropriate that Trolls is talking in the background, because you know he's the guy who taught me how to do it with his Realistic Colors DVD, which is out of print now, suckers. Should have listened to me when I reviewed it years ago. And what has been said before and what will be said again is that when working with a brush and acrylic paints, there will always be brush strokes. Go light on the first coat. Let it dry. Come back and paint over top of it. It's not going to be a big issue. The big issue is putting too much paint on at the very beginning. Continuing on with the gray on the roof decks and stuff. This is basically, I've said all I need to say about paint. Let's move on. Well, actually, I haven't said anything about the deck. I used a lighter slate gray for the deck because I wanted to get more variation from the gray that is on the roof portions of the pilot house. I wanted to differentiate the different surfaces that were on each, and the main deck on the hall is going to receive more weathering. So if I used a dark gray on the lower deck, it wouldn't translate as well because the weathering would darken it way too much. So I have to start with a lighter gray, like slate gray. After I put the slate gray on the deck, I start dry brushing on a silver type paint to show where the diamond sheet metal, the traction, the whatever it's called, who cares? I don't know as much as I think I do about real life items. I'm just an artist, just a simple artist. Anyways, I'm dry brushing the silver paint over top of the diamond plate to make it look like the gray paint has worn off and you can see the metal shining on through. And this will all translate when I start weathering this model after. You might also see that, you know, the paint's not really the most I'm not painting in the lines perfectly. Actually, it's been a problem my whole life. They told me that in kindergarten. I'm not still criticizing myself about it today. Teachers, they don't know when to shut up, really. Anyways, we got where was I? Diatribes. Let me digress. Our weathering is going to tone everything down. I think that's what I was talking about, and that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Let's move on. Using a pin vise and a small diameter drill bit, I'm cleaning out the resin, the ball yards and stuff like that, cleaning up the little bit of flash that I missed at the beginning. I used this tool at the beginning to try to scrape some stuff off, but once I added the paint to some parts, I noticed that I didn't get the flashing off in some certain parts of the hull. So use a pin vise with a small diameter drill bit and just poke it through. You don't need to drill it through because this is very thin flash. Sorry for the blurry photo, but I figured I should get a shot of both sides of the model at this point so that you could see where I'm at. Model's definitely not done. We got to do windows now. And I usually use weld bond for all my windows and stuff like that when I want to use that technique, and these portholes kind of scream the need to use glue in them because you don't want your plastic or your acetate to go on the back of the window. You want your windows to be inside the portal, kind of like a lens in a camera. So we've got to put the glue inside the holes, and that was part of why I put the gray paint on the inside so that that paint could go in the hole. And like I said, I usually use my weld bond glue for this, but I don't have my weld bond brand glue, and I just don't trust other glues to be have a proper clarity in the window. So I'm using the micro scale. Where is it? A micro scale or micro crystal clear product from Microscale Industries. It's the same thing. It's just something that I keep in the drawer just in case I need it, and it works great. I don't suggest anybody, if that's all you got, use it. It's not gonna bother me. So I'm using the microscale inside the portholes. However, for the flat windows around the pilot house, I'm going to use acetate. I don't think that the glue's going to look nice in those big windows, as nice as the portholes. So I'm just going to use acetate, and that's going to be on the back of the model, and it's going to demonstrate why I put the clear coat on the inside. In our last segment of the day, we've got Edward Traxler. And the funny story is this. This whole thing has been a long time coming. Back in 2009 or 2010, could have been 2011, I don't really remember exactly when it was, Shapeways was a brand new company. 3D printing was called rapid prototyping at the time. Shapeways contacted me directly through the Modelers Guild website. They said, we would like you to review the process and show model railroaders how rapid prototyping could be a great way for them to create details for their model railroads. There was a problem. I knew nothing about 3D modeling. And the way my mind works, I can build models all day with my hands, but to do it with a mouse, I don't know. I couldn't get it through my thick skull. So I contacted my buddy Edward Traxler. And so like I said, this has been a long time coming. We never did the Shapeways review. I think the technology was a little bit too early at the time. And also, I think that when I contacted Ed, he was capable of doing it. It just took him some time to learn it, and we both probably forgot all about this opportunity. So, I guess it's time to rectify that. So, Shapeways, it's about 5 years late. Better late than never. So Ed, let's do this. How do we make a model from a photograph?
You start with a screen, right? You go File, Now, understand that this is close, but the picture can't have been cropped. And the reason is it uses the center of the photograph. It says this is where the camera was pointing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To get the perspective. If the picture has been cropped at some time, then the center of the photograph is no longer aligned where the center of the camera was.
Mm.
So it screws up the calculations of the perspective.
Mm. But these Sharpie photos are copies off of a glass plate.
Well, you
photo,
would think so, but for example, I'm going to import, and this is a Sharpie photo. And I'm going to open it. If you look up here, see it says use as new max photo.
Yeah.
I click that. Now I get this.
Uh-huh.
There's my perspective line. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom in, is align my perspective lines to the perspective in the photo. So
No way.
So what you're doing, you're telling SketchUp that this is when the guy took the photo, right?
Uh-huh.
This is where the perspective lines were in the photo. And there's the point of origin. I move that right here. Now, you see right off, there's things that not lining up. And part of the reason is this is an old wooden building.
Yeah.
Like, it's like 1700s or some crap, which means it's shifted, right?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah, leaning.
It's out of alignment and stuff like that. So what you're doing is you can get close. And look at this. This one that don't line up with that one. That's a cool building. That's a cool building, by the way. The way you got it. So what you do is you zoom in, and I give an example just on the building itself. Look at, if I line this
They're
line
sagging
right here, and I line that line right there. Look at where the
sag. Big
Okay.
time sag.
So I'm saying that in a building like this, you can only get so close, right?
However, in terms of what I'm talking about, of bringing this file over to a laser cutter, I don't care about the siding. I care about the size and proportion of the windows.
I understand, and we're going to get close here. Right?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, now see, now you're seeing this blue line lines up pretty much with that corner.
Bottom
right?
post, yeah.
But see, now I don't know if that bottom post is leaning or whatever, but again, I'm just saying, I can tell you right here, this corner is leaning.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
So when you're ready, and once you say, okay, I'm just perfect, you click in the Max Photo, you click Done, right?
Yeah.
And now I hit my line tool. I remember this is my, see it turn green? That's the perspective line. So I hit from that line, I draw a vertical line. I come up right there where it touches the bottom. I click there and I draw another horizontal line. See?
Yeah.
Then I come out and I say, okay, the edge. You see, that's not lining up, but again, it's because the building's so wonky.
Yeah.
So.
And this is the problem of SketchUp, because it wants to have nice straight lines to recreate.
Well, it's saying where was the camera when that photo was taken, right?
Yeah.
So you got to take a little bit of but here's the deal. See, now I come up there and I look.
Oh wow.
See, there's that side.
Oh.
See, so what we're going to do is we're going to come down here, and let's just continue on and do this this bottom wall, right?
Yeah.
Now you always have to work off the origin. You can't start off in the middle of here because it has no relationship, right?
Yeah, no context to the point of
Right.
origin.
So I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna find this bottom edge to wherever it's up here. That's right, because it's see, it's not that far off. But now you got these two walls, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you say, Ron says, well, I can't go to Boston or wherever this picture was taken, right? And I can't tell dimensions. Well, there is a standard door, right?
36 inches.
You sure?
I don't know.
All right. If you say 36, we'll go with 36.
Could be 32.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. There it is right there, right? And I'm going to, I'm in window, model info. I'm in the architectural. It's down to 1/16, right? Hit my dimension tool, and I dimension this, and it says 12 foot, 4 5/8 inches. That's because we're starting with just a picture, right?
Yeah.
Hit my tape measure tool. I click here, click there. Ron says it's 32 inches. I hit enter. It says, do I want to resize the model? Yes. Control Shift E. 2 foot 8 inches. Now I can sit there and go, okay, that building is 34 foot whatever. It is that's how easy it is.
Wow. So if I draw that whole building, like I draw the front wall and then the side wall.
Well, the thing is, here's the deal. You say, well, that bottom is, in other words, remember this is a 3D program, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to imagine that let's imagine that originally there's a vertical line right in the center, right?
Yeah.
You notice it turned blue when I went through there?
Uh-huh.
That's the center. In other words, if I go, it turned blue, that's the center. I draw a line on the z-axis, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back here, and so that center of that wall is still in that line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to assume that this roof went. See, I'm staying on that line, and I come down until I'm parallel with that roof on the left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Click. Okay, so that's where the roof was, right? Hit this, hit delete, hit my ratio tool to get rid of that, click that, hit P, hit control, and draw out. Boom, hit that. I hit going back to it, right? And then you do the same thing. You come in here and you go, okay, there's a, we don't know how far that came out. So I'm hit tape measure tool. I know, see the line, see it turn, if let me go out of the picture. See what I'm saying? It's red. That's that axis. And if I click here and I go on this axis right there, right?
Yeah.
Let me delete the guides. So we know the roof comes out. We don't know how far it is, right?
Uh-huh.
I click the little block. It goes back to it. Well, now all I got to do up is go hit my line tool and come out right on that line is boom, right there. That's the edge of the that soffit or wherever it is. And the same thing, I'm sorry. I keep hit that again. And come down and same thing. It turns red because I'm on the line.
Yeah.
I'm going to come out until it turns red because I'm on that line. Now I know. Let's see, I messed that one up. What did I do? So we need to come out this far. So we say this is the soffit or wherever the overhang.
Yeah.
Right? It comes out. And see, all I gotta do is put on the red line.
Yeah. You always know it's straight.
And now we need to come out this way, which I messed up somewhere. You got to make sure you're on the line, otherwise it loses where it's at, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a green line. See the green?
Yeah.
Now I can sit there and go here, and
Bring it back to the outside. Yeah.
there. Hit that, get rid of it. Now, these aren't the same, and then you have to say, well, were they different? Did it overhang more on the front than on the back? You know, I don't know. It looks like it did. I'm going to come through here and go, well, this is a horizontal line, and it's at the edge of the building, right? So I hit my L for line tool. See, it's no color, and it turns red when it's on the line. Click right below that corner. I can just click off so I can see what I'm doing, and put go until it turns blue. Say that's your Z-axis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Click there, turns red. That's that one. And in other words, there's your stuff. So you come down there and you go, well, it comes up. So we're looking at the back side of that wall, right?
That's an interesting building. The way you're building it is that it was that second floor is an addition.
I don't know. If you look here, and we're saying, see what I'm saying, because it's all wonky.
Yeah.
But this is a good example. But by doing this, by clicking the wrong place, I just did then, because I'm not paying attention. But if I come up, I want to get right on this this line right here, right? See it turn blue?
Yeah.
So I say, okay, the roof hits a rock right here, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to come across until it turns green. Now it's this wall. Well, I know that there's center. There's the center, right? I go back, hit this so I can see my picture. That's pretty close. Look at that, right through the thing. And so I click there. Damn it! You gotta be careful. If you move it out of the holding the shift key and the center mouse button to make it move around like that.
Okay.
I click here and about right there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm come down here now. Boom that. And then I get rid of the little lines. I sit there and go, oh, I'm sorry, we didn't come. Yeah, we did. I hit there. I hit P for pull tool. Hit the control to make a copy, and I pull that back to there. So there's pretty much that quick.
That's amazeballs.
Intersect faces. I intersect the faces so I don't delete the something when I'm.
Yeah.
So that quick. Now there's a glitch here, so because we can't see the other side.
and that wall and that roof that's sticking out, the lower roof is a lean-to.
But see, and
that's
that
the addition onto the building, not
we
the.
were just guessing at the angle.
Yeah.
But I double click my tape measure tool, right?
Yeah.
I can sit there and go from here to right there to come around here so I can see the other side.
I imagine that's how it goes too.
Well, it's.
It goes up to the main rafter or the main roof rafter there, and.
See, all I'm going to do is put P, hit Control, pull this down. I mean, you got to use a little bit of sense, but look, there is. I hit reverse face. That's the inside face. There's your that quick, and I can sit there and go.
And from this, I could get basic dimensions of the buildings.
Well, you said that was 2 foot 8 inches. Okay.
Yeah.
So
now everything else is measured.
That right there is 8 foot 3/8. To the corner of that is 17'5". From there to there is 31/8 and 1/16. The length of the roof is 52 foot. I mean, I keep telling people, they go on the forums, they go, I have a picture and how do I convert this to a plan? Use SketchUp.
Well, the thing is, Edward, and this is something that I suffer by, is that you get into SketchUp and you're trying to do something, and then all of a sudden you see the dark gray polygon there. It's so hard to make everything look connected and part of each other. You get those different colored planes, and then it's something you have to wrap your head around. Before it becomes easy.
Change your style. If you having trouble, okay, hit B for bucket. Okay, we'll make just temporarily. Let's make the walls make them a light green. So now you know where your walls are. This is the walls of the main building, and you say you want to, so you can visually separate them from the other ones. Okay, make those yellow, so you can see the difference.
So that's a wrap on another show. I'd like to thank Ulrike, if I got that wrong. It is really hard for English people to say. Uli, you're right. We've placed links to her Facebook group, so if you're from Europe or internationally want to try her trees out or scenery products out, you can contact her over Facebook. Also, I'd like to thank Ed for his contribution with the 3D editing. This is stuff that I'd never be able to do personally, and through watching Ed, it kind of gets me a few steps closer to being able to use these programs with confidence. I'm still not there yet, and maybe after next week's show we'll be able to do something like that. In a further video, Ed walks us through creating a tire in SketchUp and uploading it onto Shapeways so that we find out how much it costs, and then Ed takes us to make the whole cost structure cheaper and shows us how cheap it can actually be to print out a number of these objects just using the efficiencies that they're looking for at Shapeways. So I have linked to that video over here. It's up here somewhere. It's a fairly long video, and it's actually it really didn't work for me to cut it down into this show, as we were really kind of try to cover a couple of bases. So what I've done is I put the importing a picture into this this episode, and next week we're going to have Jason Reese modeling with SketchUp. So Ed's video is also online, and it's linked through this video here, and you can watch this at your own leisure. I'm sorry, Ed, that I couldn't get it into the show, but we kind of, we got to make it so that the show flows, and these are the kinds of tough decisions that I'm beginning to recognize for keeping the show rolling along. Not to say it's not entertaining. This is good stuff, and you'll be blown away by how we demonstrate everything from starting the model, using a picture, and modeling the whole way through, making like everything I talked about in the promo for this video. It's all in there, and it's linked through this video right here, and I hope you go and see it. Ed did a really great job, and I'm not trying to hide it. It's just that the content's coming into the show quick and fast, and I want to keep topics rolling along so that we don't take an entire month to get through these subjects. So each week we're putting out a couple hours of content on the Model Railroads and Structures show, so hopefully it's not too much content. Maybe that's the question of the week. Is there too much content coming out right now? Are you going to be able to watch it all? Maybe we should do less shows. I don't know. We'll leave that up to you to decide. Talking about next week's show, we'll have Jason Reese on the show, and Jason's a professional architect by trade, and he's going to come on the show and share with us a totally different style of using SketchUp to make buildings. And I think it's a really cool representation of another point of view. I'll finish up my tugboat in a future episode. I'm going to weather it and add all the rest of the details to the kit and close that video out on the show. What else do we have? Next week's show is going to have a lot of great stuff. I have a lot of people set up that I really think you're going to find interesting. More lady modelers. We got to represent these and bring them to the forefront of the hobby so that they can bring more ladies into the hobby. I know that a lot of our wives, because I say our wives because it's a man-dominated hobby, but a lot of women are involved in the hobby. They just don't need to take the credit that most of us men do. So have more of that coming down the pike. Just want to make a mention about the Patreon campaign. Patreon is a website that helps creators to make a better product. There's all kinds of pay TV choices for your modeling pleasures, and I dare say that anything they've got to provide, we provide as well for free. We're not so bad, So the Patreon campaign, it provides me an avenue to be able to buy equipment to improve the show. Maybe someday I'll be able to encode the show off of Google Hangouts and provide HD video from each of the participants. And that can only come through buying equipment. And the early price estimates that I've come up with is probably around $1,500 for everything that I would need to get to put together to package the program and encode it myself. So it'll be a while yet. However, the Patreon campaign is at $17 a video, and that happens 4 times a month. So if you contribute $1 per show, that's $4 a show, $4 a month. And where else are you going to be able to get that kind of deal out there? So we've got 5 patrons now, and I'd like to thank each and every one of them. Your contribution is really boosting my confidence and also providing me a way to be able to improve the show. So thank you to the patrons. I think that's it. I don't want to ramble on unscripted. It's what I usually do. So again, I'd like to thank everybody who was on the show today. And if you want to watch the raw videos, they are unlisted, but at the end of each of the produced videos, the raw video that is corresponding to that video will be linked somewhere. So thanks for watching, guys. Do a like and subscribe. Maybe share it with your modeling friends. I hope you go and see Ed's video on making the tire. It is a fantastic watch, and it'll be available in my raw videos playlist on my channel and linked in this video right here, as you can see. And Uli should be over here. I don't know where all this stuff is going. Anyways, thank you for watching the show. city. Gonna leave my past behind. I will stand, take no pity. Pain is broken man.